ley lines played in her ability to spin through time. The old lock-up in her garden sat upon an intersection of two strong lines of the mysterious energy that connected ancient and sacred places. She had reasoned that another powerful location might spark something. Was it possible for a place to sing to her in the same way a precious object could? The complete lack of so much as a whisper was a crushing blow. Harley was sensitive to what this failure meant to her.
"I'm of the opinion a person's thoughts flow easier with a full belly," he told her.
She hesitated, reluctant to abandon the day's mission, yet knowing there was nothing further to be gained by staying on the hilltop. "Pub?" she suggested.
"Pub,"
he agreed. A mile from the earthworks, the Soldier's Arms was set back from the road and offered a fine selection of local ales. She chose a corner table, the weather not quite warm enough to tempt her outside to the beer garden, and Harley fetched the drinks. The pub clearly catered to tourists, but managed to do so without entirely losing its charm. She found the low murmur of their fellow drinkers' conversations familiar and comforting. Harley returned with a brimming pint glass for himself and a smaller measure for her.
"Here ya, designated driver."
He set the drinks on the little round table between them and eased himself onto the high-backed wooden seat, which creaked in complaint at his not inconsiderable weight.
"According to yon barman,"
he nodded at the skinny man serving,
"interest in ley lines has had something of a renewal in these parts lately. Lots of visitors haul their backsides up that hill in the hope of sensing the special energy of the place."
Well, I hope they had better luck than we did. Harley drank deeply, wiped his beard with the back of his hand, and let out a happy sigh. He picked a menu out of the holder on the table and handed one to her.
"Food, lass, and after we've eaten and drunk, we'll bring our minds to bear on the matter in hand once more, but not before. Deal?"
She was happy to agree. After the initial shock of finding Liam had been separated from her as they had travelled to their own time, she had put all her energy into discovering a way to find him. And yet, despite her best efforts and input from both Harley and her mother, nothing had worked. She felt no closer to knowing what time he had gone to, or rather, what time he had been taken to. It still hurt her to accept her mistress' flight had betrayed her. The spinner's book had revealed the fact that the old woman harboured secrets, but she would never have thought her capable of doing something so awful. What possible reason could she have for snatching Liam in the way that she had? Xanthe had spent restless nights trying to make sense of it. There were times when a few moments of normality to recharge and reset her tormented thoughts were extremely necessary. She and Harley chose beer-battered fish and chips for their lunch and ate in companionable silence, serenaded by the gentle noises of the pub. She watched people at the other tables, wondering what secrets their own lives held, feeling a separation from the normality they experienced, a distance from a life of straightforward challenges and obstacles. Her gift as a spinner was something to be grateful for, something that humbled her and filled her with wonder. It was also, however, something that came at a price, and at that moment the price was too high, and was being paid by someone she cared for deeply. After their meal, feeling fortified, she and Harley returned to the topic of Old Sarum. How can somewhere so ancient, so full of past lives and important events, how can it not speak to me? She wondered aloud. I mean, on another level it does, of course. Like anyone else, I can appreciate the history, imagine what the settlements would have been like. But as a spinner, I find nothing. He gave an expansive shrug, the leather of his biker's jacket stretching over his broad shoulders as he did so.
"It's your first-rate ley line location, no doubt about that, connecting Stonehenge and Salisbury Cathedral. The story goes that some ambitious bishop decided the original cathedral up on yon hill was too wind-blasted and remote for his needs."
Can't have been fun slogging up there in the winter.
"Right enough. So, he got one of the king's finest archers.